Well, hi folks. Hey, here we are. Time for another review. Got a product here. Now this was gifted to me by Running Water, my son. He's one of my YouTube followers. He gifted it to me and he says, hey Pop, you want to take this and go out to camp with it and do a review on it, test it out? And I said, yeah, sure, why not? He says, yeah, I think it'd be neat if you shared it with your audience. He gave me 2 items, actually. This is the first of the 2. And we're going to do a review on this right now. So hang on. Here we go. Okay, folks. This is it. This is the sheath that this survival tool comes in, okay? It's canvas. It's got 2 rings on it that you could put a strap on and carry it over your shoulder. It's got the double molly strap type belt hoops on it. Now carrying this on your belt, for me, that'd be a problem. I have enough trouble keeping my pants up. This weighs about 1 pound, maybe 1.5 pounds at the most. But it's just heavy enough to wear it on your belt. Might be a little uncomfortable, but I can see attaching this to your molly straps on your pack or something and carrying it on your pack. That would be okay. But it's compact enough that you could drop it down into a pack. So let's take a look at this tool. We'll open it up, Velcro, holding it shut. The main body of the tool is in this. It's another sheath. And you think, oh, wow, a sheath in a sheath. Well, okay. Now, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this, but I'm going to show you the name of this. And I'll put it down under the screen, too. But hopefully you can see that. I can't pronounce that. It's spelled I-U-N-I-O. I can't pronounce that. So, we're going to open this up and take a look at this. Velcro straps again, and it's good Velcro. It's good, tough stuff. And we'll set that aside. There it is. It's a survival shovel. Okay, we're going to get into this thing real quick. Now, it's got a steel tube handle, right? And you just unscrew this handle a bit. And this shovel flips right up. And you just screw that handle back down on the head of the shovel. And it squares that shovel head right up. And there you go, right? Okay, got a long ways to go here. What does this shovel head provide? Well, okay. Now, it's got this blade here that looks like a saw blade, but that's not a saw blade. It's only got the perforated edge on one side. It's flat on the other. That's not a saw. You're not going to saw with that. It would just keep cutting at a curve like that. It'd bind up. That's not a saw. That's a fish scaler is what that is. Scale fish with it. The digging edge has got a dull beveled edge. On this side, it's got what feels like a quite dull edge. You're supposed to be able to split wood with that edge and chop with that edge. Again, it's beveled only on one side. The other side, it's flat. Now, I wish that was a sharpened edge, and I would maybe put this on a grinder and make that edge a double edge and get it sharp. Okay, what else does it have? Well, it's got a bottle opener on it here that you use as a can opener. This part here, you can use that as a can opener. And it's got these bolt head slots that you can tighten nuts and bolts with. Okay, it's only two different sizes. It's these two and these two are both the same size, so it's a double up. I got a vehicle coming through, so excuse that sound. Hopefully it won't be too loud. But there you go. That's the basic shovel, right? Okay. Now, in this sheath, there's a couple other items. Okay. Now, all of these things are taken apart so that they all fit in this sheath, right? But you assemble this thing. Okay, so the first thing you do is you take this tube. There's these two different tubes. One's longer than the other. This one with the shiny point on the end, that's the last tube. The first tube, it's hollow. On this end, it unscrews, and I'll show you what. You turn it around, screw it back on, and you've got a knife blade and a fish scaler. Okay, so you've got two fish scalers. This one on the shovel, I don't care what they say, that is not a saw. I'm not even going to try sawing with it. It's not a saw. It's only got blades on one side. It's going to saw in a curve. It's going to bind up. It's not a saw. It's a fish scaler. But there's a fish scaler on the knife, and it's got a decent double-beveled common knife. It's got a nice grind to it, and it's from the factory. It's quite sharp. So let's give it a little test. I've got a piece of birch here, and we're going to whittle on that a little bit. Let's see what it does. Actually, I think you're going to... That's a good knife. That's a good knife. It's a solid blade. It's really good and solid. It screws into this handle quite well, and you got a good handle. You got lots of grip. You know, you got a lot of options as to where you want to hang on to it. You can get up close and really get some strength into it, or if you're filleting a fish, you might hold it out here, and it's a long enough blade. You can fillet a pretty decent fish with that knife. So I like that knife. So we're going to move on. You take that knife out. You just unscrew it. And the nice thing is if you want, you can take that knife head off and sharpen that without the handle on it. But you just insert it back into the body and back into the tube and snug it up in there. There we go. Now, you take this tube. It's got I think you can see it. It's a red rubber O-ring on it. So you can put other things inside this hollow tube. But you cinch this down, snug it up. It's got this nice textured portion on each section of this handle. You can get a good grip on it. That forward tube is now waterproof. You can put things in there. not just that knife blade, because the knife blade is poking into this one, not poking into that one. You got this whole tube. You got this whole section of tube. You fill that, you put matches in there, tinder in there, whatever you want, fire starting kit, all you want in that front tube. That'd be nice, eh? Well, okay, so now it's getting closer to being a shovel, right? That's getting long, you know. You could use that the way it is. Last tube, okay? And you think, well, what else could there be, you know? Well, this base, that little silver thing on the base, that's one of those deals where you're in a vehicle goes off the road, lands in the water. How do you get out of it? You can't get the windows down. They're electric and they quit working. You can't get out. All you do is take this tube out of that pouch, grab it, put it up against the window, give it a pop, and that'll shatter the window. That's what that's for. Now you unscrew the base. Whoop. And again, it's got a rubber O-ring in the base. It's got a rubber O-ring up here. So this is going to be a waterproof section, right? This whole handle becomes waterproof because of these O-rings. Okay, we're going to put that base back on. And here is one of the options that come with it. It's got a whistle. Nice loud whistle. And that whistle appears to be steel. Great survival item. What's this other part? Oh my gosh, what's that? It's a ferro rod. We're going to give that a shot. We're going to I'll tell you what, that shovel is not the tool to use on that ferro rod. I'm going to pull the knife head out. And I don't like doing this, but in a survival situation, what you're going to do, I'm going to try this little flat portion on the end of the knife, and if that don't work, I'm going to use the back end of the blade, and we'll see if we can get this ferro rod to throw a spark. Oh yeah, I hope you can see that. I'm going to set the shovel over here. Hope you can see that, folks. Very good, very good. That ferro rod throws a good spark, very good spark. So I'm happy with it. Well, I'm just going to leave the knife extended and reinstall it. You can leave it extended like that and put it back together. But if you turn it around, it gives you that whole front section for storage of items. But if it's turned around, it's taking up space in the second section. You decide what you want to put in each section. And each section is independently waterproof. Okay, now this ferro rod and this whistle, you're thinking, well, okay, where do you put that? You know, what's it that you just slide it in the tube, right? Slide it in the tube. No, you don't do that. It goes in either end, whichever way you want to do it, and it's threaded, and it just threads into the end of the tube like the knife does on the other one, and you install it like so. Now this came with this screwdriver head, Phillips head, screwdriver extension that you would use in a drill. I don't know why it's in this kit. I don't know for sure how it would apply. I don't know how you would use it with this, you know. There's just no way. So that to me was just, that's just taking up space. So you put that last tube on there, and you snug up all these tubes, and what do you got? You got a full length shovel here to use. Nice length, right? Let's take this, we're gonna have a cut here. We're gonna take this and we're gonna go in the woods, and I'm gonna dig with this, and we're gonna see what it does. See you there. Okay guys, I'm gonna dig with this. What I'm gonna do is dig like a latrine, you know, somewhere to poop in the woods. And just to see how it functions, see if it's a good digger. So here we go. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. I don't think I need to dig any more than that. This bugger, it digs like $1,000,000. It's just sharp enough. I would sharpen that a little more, but it dug like $1,000,000. You can dig a nice latrine with it. If you got to dig out a big area, you could do it. And it's comfortable. The length of it makes it very comfortable. Good leverage. I like it. And look at the nice plug of dirt that it pulled out. There you go, as if it never happened. I had that big old hole there in just a minute or so. It's gone. It took out such a nice plug. I really like this shovel. I'll catch you in just a second. Okay, the only other thing I want to do is I'm going to whack this piece of wood. I got a piece of popple in front of me. You may or may not be able to see it there, but I'm going to give it a whack with this, see if it would split wood. I just don't like the blade for splitting, but I'm going to give it a try. And this thing seems so heavy and so sturdy, I think I can do it. Let's give it a good whack. It didn't split it, but then I didn't hit it the best either. I'm going to give it another one. That didn't split it either. But boy, is it sticking in the wood. Try one more. Yep. Nothing came loose. Still solid as a rock. And it split that piece of wood. if I was standing up and taking a decent swing, one swing it would have split that. So on a survival basis, you wouldn't be using wood that big around probably anyway. It'd be smaller, and you just want to split it once. This would do it. You could split for an hour with this if you wanted. It's that heavy. It's that heavy duty. Now, real quick, like I said, the blade has a fish scaler on it. I wish it was an actual saw, okay? The blade edge isn't very sharp. It's the digging edge, so it's not going to be real sharp, but I'd sharpen it a bit. This edge, I would definitely double bevel this and get it sharp and use it as an axe edge. This thing's heavy enough to be a good axe if you get that edge cleaned up. Not much. It wouldn't take much at all. Put it on a grinder, put the second edge on, and then sharpen it. It wouldn't take much at all. 3 tube extensions. 1 tube extension has an awesome knife in it that has both knife blade and fish scaler on it. Yeah, remember that, fella? And the knife performed very well. I was very, very happy with it. Next section. We took this bugger apart, and remember, plus underneath that, if I unscrew the thing, I'm not going to take time, is the ferro rod. And we tried the ferro rod. Great spark off the ferro rod. I know I'd have no problem getting a fire going with that ferro rod. The base. You can take the base off to stuff this tube full of supplies and things. It's wonderful space in all of these tubes for storage. Plus it has the glass breaker on the base. So there you are. All 3 of those pieces. You pull the blade off, turn it upside down, put it in there. You take the ferro rod out, and the ferro rod has its own little pocket in here. And in this case, the 2 tubes plus the shovel and the first tube all fit in this case nicely. And it, like I said, it weighs about 1.5 pounds. It's not uncomfortable to strap to your pack and carry. How do I rate it? How do I rate this bugger? I don't know if you probably can't even see it sitting there. I'm going to tip this down just a little. There, you can probably see it better. How would I rate this? This camera. I would rate this survival shovel, survival knife, ferro rod, whistle, waterproof tube system. I did not expect to do this, but I like this. I really enjoyed this piece. I'm going to rate this a 10 out of 10. I'm not kidding. A 10 out of 10. The weight. I was worried about the weight. I was going to take a couple points away just on the weight. But then the more I thought about it, everything it offers, if you eliminate carrying the knife, the ferro rod, and the whistle, you get rid of those things out of your pack because you got them in here. You're swapping out the weight. And for this weight and the uses you could put this to, digging a fire pit, latrines, splitting wood, filleting your fish, all the things you could do, starting your fires, signaling for help with the whistle, all of those things together. The weight is no longer an issue to me. I give it a 10. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this review and you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Ring the bell, then you'll know when I'm doing a review or a regular video or a live stream. And hey, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, would you? Give it a thumbs up. And I love all you. Love all of you. My viewers are the best folks in the world. Love y'all. And I'll see you in the next video. And until then, you all have a very, very nice day. Bye-bye.